Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking about why I think black women cannot coexist on reality TV shows such as Love Island and anything similar to that. It's just one of them days. Okay, so I've been watching Love Island UK and Love Island US, and you know, watching both these shows and them both having more than one black woman on the show, it's just really evident that they cannot coexist. They cannot. They cannot. There's been situations on both shows that just show that, yeah, they can't coexist. It just doesn't work. I think, you know, it's partly the fans, and it's also mostly things like colorism, and sorry, the birds are making noise as well. It's mostly colorism, featureism, texturism, all these things, racism, that come into these things to that you know, add to why black women can't coexist on these shows. So I'm going to give you the situations, explain the situations on why I think, you know, let me know what you guys think. I might be wrong, but this is just what I think. So let's start with Love Island UK. So Love Island UK, we have Kaz and we have Rachel. Rachel's gone now. At this point, she's gone. But when Rachel came in the show, I saw tweets on Twitter of people kind of saying, oh, they're throwing away Kaz now because we have Rachel. Obviously there would be comparisons in looks and comparisons in personality. It was obvious that Kaz and Rachel had opposite personalities, and that, you know, some of us actually thought that Kaz didn't want Rachel to be there because producers made it seem like Kaz didn't want Rachel to be there, but then afterwards we actually saw that they were friends and they actually spoke and they actually had a friendship. And this is why I say black women cannot coexist, because it's either, this is one of the reasons why, it's either the fans preferring because of their features or their skin tone or their hair texture, or it's either the personality clash and the producers using one black girl and one black girl in different lights because of the personality clash, and we know that black girls have to be a certain way on TV, otherwise they'll be disliked by the Babylon. It's either that, or, you know, they just pit against each other because they're the only two black girls and there's only one black guy. That wasn't the case in UK, but I think that was the case in US, but we will get there. But yes, either one of those. At the same time, as fans, we also need to remember that the producers show us what they want us to see. Reality TV is not always, you know, spontaneous and unpredictable. Sometimes they make them film things again. Other islanders have said that they've been asked to film things over and over again and things like that. So the way somebody's portrayed, we cannot take that at face value, especially black women. We cannot just take that and run with it. They can show us in a bad light, they will. Maybe it didn't work for Kaz, but it kind of worked for Rachel a little bit. When there's two black girls on the show, they're always going to compare the personalities. And yes, black women are not a monolith. We are not always bubbly. We are sometimes the opposite of bubbly, whatever that is. We're just not a monolith. And so it's nice to have two black women that have different personalities and two different looks, but when we have that, we get the comparisons. But when it's white people, we don't get the comparisons, obviously, because there's things like colorism, texturism, featureism, and racism. This is one reason why I don't think black women can coexist on these shows, because people are always going to compare. They're always going to say, oh, this one's prettier, or this one has better personality, or this one's annoying, da da da. Then we have the thing where when black men come on the show and they express interest in a black girl or a white guy, we assume straight away that they're just using them to win the show because the black girl is always the fan favorite, because they always have to be bubbly. Right. And that's another reason why they cannot coexist. I hope this is making sense. Because black love is so profitable now, we always have to question whether somebody that comes into the house and shows interest to a black woman is being genuine or not. Another reason why black women cannot coexist on the show, and why they shouldn't even apply for these shows. I think that black women should just not apply for these shows where there's a mix of races. I think if it's a show where there's only black people, then we can have then it can work. Shows like Ready to Love, there's all black people. We don't have the same issues when they're all black. We know that, okay, these guys are on the show, they actually like black women. We don't have to question whether they are we don't have to question whether they're interested in black women or not. We just know, because it's a show with only black people. And you know what, that's what racism has done, that's what colorism has done, that's what featureism and texturism has done. We just can't coexist. We just can't. We cannot. And sometimes it's annoying because us as black watchers who want to watch Babylon act a fool on TV, we cannot, because there's always black women on the show and there's always an issue that comes up because it affects black women. It always affects black women. I think black women just should stop There's always an issue, a social issue that we have to see and get triggered by when we watch these things, and it's actually quite annoying. We just want to watch Babylon act a fool. We just want to watch them act a fool. We just want to watch them act a fool. We do not want to have to write think pieces, be triggered and all these things, because it is quite triggering sometimes, and it's just not fun. I think, yeah, we need more shows that are just only for black people, because I feel like then black women can coexist. Now, let me go on to my second piece of evidence. Love Island US. Love Island US is quite different to the Love Island UK. The reason why I think black women cannot coexist, based on what I've seen in Love Island US, is very different to what I've seen in Love Island UK. So in the US we have Cachet and Trina. So Cachet and Trina are both black. They're both dark skinned. They have different features. Then we have a black guy that comes in who's interested in both of them. But then he's interested in both of them. Cachet and Trina are both interested in Cinco. Now, this is why I don't think black women can coexist on the show, because they're both interested in Cinco, because I guess they both like black men. But when Trina took Cinco from Cachet, it became outrage, because it was like, oh my gosh, why are you taking this guy from a sister? And it's like, why are you taking this guy from a sister? But when you look at it objectively, the game is the game. And would you rather him leave you for Babylon or a black woman? Would you rather him leave you for Babylon? I think Cachet and Trina both came into it like, we're both black, let's not take him away from each other because we're both black. But it's like, no, this is the game. This is the game. You both like black guys. There happen to only be one. The game is the game. This is why we cannot coexist, because now it becomes a thing where, oh no, you can't chat to him because we're both black, and it's not fair because we're both black. And it's like, no, the game is the game, and we can't play the game properly because it's always about race. It's either you're taking a man, you're taking my man from me, and I'm your black sister. It's either he likes you better because you have certain features, or you have a certain skin tone, or you have a certain hair texture. It's always going to be about something to do with race and the things under the umbrella of race. So this is why I don't think black women can coexist, because literally then the fans, people hated Trina. Trina was getting hate, you know, a lot of hate, and it was like bad. The hate that Trina was getting was about her race, not about what she's done, and that's where the difference lies. Not hate that you would get when you're a villain of the show. And Trina was not a villain of the show, because Cachet and Cinco were only together for like 2 days. A lot of the outrage was because they were both black and she took a black man from Cachet, and I think people saw the featureism in it. I think people saw that in Cinco choosing Trina over Cachet, and then it became either triggering for people, so people didn't want Trina to take Cinco away from Cachet because featureism, and they were both black, and it was like, and even Trina said it, she's like, I don't want to do that to a black sister. And it's like, it's always gonna be about that, because Cinco was the only black man there, and they were the only 2 black women there. Another reason why I feel like black women cannot coexist, and this is also, and I'm still talking about Love Island US here, but remember the third girl that came in that was interested in Cinco? I can't remember her name now, but she was interested in Cinco. So there was 3 girls now interested in Cinco, and it's like, okay, because he's the only black guy there, and they know that there's no point in trying it with a Babylon because they probably don't like black girls. And I know that it's not their fault that the producers keep putting in people that do not like black women. Let's be honest, we never get interracial, and you know, there is other races that are into interracial, but they never pick people. They didn't even pick black guys that are into black girls. And because I'm just being honest with you, I don't think Cinco's into black girls, but I think he finds them attractive. But yeah, I don't think he's into black girls, but it's just like this. 3 girls are after one guy solely for the reason, probably because they just know that he's the only one that could possibly be into them. And that's the sad thing, and that's why I don't think they can coexist, because then all 3 of them are into him, one of them wins, the others are pissed, and they have nothing. They're pissed, and then what else do they have to do on the show? Because look at Cachet. Okay, now that he chose Trina, Cachet was just left in the dust. She had nobody to couple up with, that, you know, romantically, and it's just like, this is a problem. I think fans are like, maybe 10% of the problem, and 90% of the problem is the producers. Obviously they do not choose men that are into black women, they only choose men that are into white women. But then I think the girls should just stop applying, because, you know, it always works for the black men. Somehow always works for the black men. Because if we see Love Island UK, okay, none of them were really into Aaron, but Sharon was kind of into Aaron, okay. Lucinda was pretending, but it was quite easy for him to, you know, move on and, you know, go on dates. And again, the fans online did not question the genuinity of Lucinda in the beginning when she picked Aaron for a date, and Millie, okay. But when it's a black girl, the genuinity is always questioned, okay. And then we have Love Island US, genuinity of Wes and what's his name? I forgot the other guy's name. The one with the light eyes that he kissed Cachet. The genuinity was always questioned. You know, it's just hard. And also, it's very annoying for us black women that actually have to watch this as well, because it is triggering. We just want to see Babylon, again, like I said, act of all. We do not want to be having to be triggered. Stop applying for these shows that are made for Babylon and Babylon only. We need to, you know, I guess producers need to make their own shows. Some producer needs to make a show like Love Island only for black people. But then again, things like Ex on the Beach, black women can coexist on those kind of shows. Things like Are You the One, black women can coexist on those kind of shows. But that's because the concept of these kind of shows is very different. Black women should stop applying for these shows because the producers are not going to do anything. As long as racism and colorism, texturism, featureism is alive, black women cannot coexist on these shows. And I get, okay, some black women just want to go on these shows because they want the bag and they know the game to play, but then at the same time it's triggering for the fans. Sometimes the fans forget the game is the game. Sometimes the producers do things that just make it harder for the black girls to play the game, okay? Because Justine and Caleb worked on the show, they won and everything. I know Caleb took the piss and actually just took her really out. But who's to say Justine wasn't pretending too? And yeah, I know she probably wasn't pretending, but we always assume that the guy is the only one pretending and the black girl isn't. She might be pretending too. And I think a lot of the fans, we project, you know, when a guy comes on for and they pick the black girl, we you know, we are skeptical of their genuinity. And I understand that, because, you know, I don't know, women, I feel like sometimes we feel like we know who people are going to be interested in based on how they look. I feel like we know, but at the same time we just sometimes need to keep it quiet and stop expressing everything on Twitter, because the Babylon see it and the Babylon use it to their advantage. Some of these things that go on in these shows, it's to the Babylon's advantage. So this is why I don't think black women should go on the shows, and why I think they cannot coexist, because everything is just to the Babylon's advantage at the end of the day. It either highlights racism, colorism, featureism, texturism, and whatever else there may be. I think I forgot one of them, but I can't remember. It either highlights those things or reinforces Babylon's agenda in some way at every given time, every situation. So I just think they should stop applying for it. I know the bag is the bag, but there may not be a solution. I think the solution is that black girls should stop applying for the shows. But I know that they want the bag, and it's an easy, quick way to get the bag. But at what cost? It's reinforcing Babylon's agenda. I hope this was cohesive, because I feel like I was talking a lot and talking in circles and stuff, but I tried to be cohesive. But I hope it was cohesive, and let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment and share and all those things, and let me know what you guys think about whether black women can coexist on these shows or not. But yeah, I'll speak to you guys in my next video. Bye.